Hi, I'm Chip Wilson. I'm coming to you from the Musicians Village in New Orleans, Louisiana, Upper Ninth Ward. And I'm a singer-songwriter here. Been living here for about 20 years. There's a lot of songwriting inspiration in my town. But I'd like to talk with you, especially if you're beginning to write songs. I'd like to talk to you about a few different ideas that hopefully you'll find helpful. There's a lot of chord and harmonic devices that musicians like you and me use when we're writing songs. And you don't necessarily have to go deep into music theory to write a blues or a folk song or a rock and roll song. But there's some things that are good to know. The main thing is that whatever you're doing on the guitar hopefully is a supplement, a good addition to the lyrical content of what you're talking about. You don't want to necessarily detract from the lyrics unless they're just nonsense la 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 lyrics, which are okay too. You know, Van Morrison made a lot of money off of sha la 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 la. So here's a couple ideas. We're in the key of G. G and C. But by using a descending bass line, like in a classic Grateful Dead song, you can make that G and C really sound like something. So here's what Jerry Garcia came up with. Which, to me, is kind of an improvement over just simply strumming those chords. I avoided using this particular concept for decades because I thought, you know, Jerry got it right the first time, so why would I want to mess with success? But one afternoon I had some songwriting concepts and I thought, all right, let's see what I can do to utilize that particular idea, but try to get some different things out of it. So I wrote a song called Constantinople, and I'm just going to play us a little bit of the instrumental part of Constantinople, the instrumental intro, and then when I go into the verse. And you'll see I'm doing basically the same thing as that descending lick that we just played, but it's being finger-picked, first of all, so that gives it a different dimension. Again, just the descending lick again, not the intro. There's a lot of ways to use this kind of lick. The main thing is to kind of try to find a way to use it so it doesn't sound like it's been done to death by every other guitar player on the planet. So experiment, mess with the guitar, mess with the lick, mess with the idea, try it in different keys, and see what you can come up with. Here's another descending lick that some of my favorite songwriters have used, including George Harrison in one of his classic songs, the great Fred Neil, and we're going to be in the key of D to get started. And what we're going to play is D, D major 7th, D 7th, and D 6th. So here's the D or the 1. There's the major 7th, C sharp, C is the 7th, and the open B in this case is the 6. Now, I'm going to give it to you in the key of A for just a second, but without, just because of the fingerings in this first position chord, without the 6, so we won't hear the 6. But basically the same idea in the key of A. We'll have an A major chord, an A major 7th chord, and an A 7th chord. Another thing that I think is important with songwriting, and I guess this has a little bit to do with music theory, I think it's a good idea for any guitarist to start at some stage in their career to master the major scale, or at least be aware of the note values and be able to finger a major scale. The major scale is the basis of Western music, and it's kind of important to know this. So I think it's good for every guitar player to start to learn how to play the major scale and then learn how to apply it. That's just a simple A major scale. But that's something that's good to know. Also, there is a series of chords that go with the major scale, and they're called the diatonic chords. If you want to learn a little bit more about the diatonic chords, very, very helpful in songwriting. I have a worksheet that I could send to you in a PDF form if you want to learn a little bit about the diatonic chords. So please feel free to write to me at chip@chipwilson.net and ask me for my worksheet, and I can email that to you so that you understand the relationship between these chords and the major scale. I'm just going to give you a little sample, some of the diatonic chords as used in like a sort of a classic Van Morrison kind of chord pattern. That was an A major 7th chord, B minor 7th, C sharp minor 7th to D. You take it up to E. And really all we've done is play chords that are related to the major scale. Very helpful for songwriting. This has nothing to do necessarily with the guitar or with chords or scales or anything like that, but really more with lyrics. And I like to listen if I'm at a coffee house or I don't care where, a doctor's appointment, doesn't really matter. Listen to the voices around you. Somewhere in the course of your day, someone is going to say something interesting, something that's catchy sounding, and that may just end up being the hook to your song. So pay attention to what's going on around you, what people are saying. You're going to find a lot of inspiration in that. Also, I know when I'm driving a long solo car trip, I keep a piece of paper and a pen nearby because I often will come up with inspiration. Might be something by the side of the road that I saw that will prompt me to write some song lyrics down. Also, another thing that I have found very helpful in songwriting is listen to your favorite songwriters. Two people that have been very influential to me and millions of other musicians are Van Morrison, as I mentioned earlier, and also Bob Dylan. And on occasion, when I've been stuck for ideas and songwriting, I've listened to some of those guys, walked away, but without trying to steal from them, I've used some of their song concepts as templates for other songs that I've evolved on my own. Listen to the voices around you. Listen to other songwriters that you care about. Another great thing is to collaborate with another person because another person may have another approach to something that will entirely transform what you thought was an already okay song. So if you'd like to talk to me more about this or communicate with me, please get in touch with me at chipwilson.net. And check out chipwilson.net. There's some samples of songs that I've written, as well as videos of performances that I've done that you might find interesting. All right, go write yourself a song, all right?